Just got in now. I was just rushing to get back so that I can do this program. How are you guys? I'm just getting in now, so I'm not even settled down, but I decided to let me just get this program out of the way. Then I can just refresh myself. All right, you're welcome to today's program. I'll be discussing about what are the diets. I think midweek I did a topic about why do diabetics feel tired when they are why do they always feel tired. We discussed some issues regarding that, the possible causes why you are tired if you're diabetic. So I did enlighten on that area. That was the topic I did on the midweek. Now, follow up to that topic, I decided to look at the diet that can help you reduce fatigue or tiredness if you're a diabetic person. Okay, so that is what I shall be looking in this topic, discussing in this topic, the diet that can help you reduce fatigue if you're a diabetic person. Now, please, if my audio is not clear, kindly let me know on the comment section to adjust my audio, and also please indicate where you are watching from once you join the program. All right, I'm streaming on the three platforms on YouTube. My YouTube is back. I'm also streaming on YouTube now as we discuss, and also on Facebook. All right, this is my new look, and I don't know. I've been told that it's much better this way than shaving, so I'm just trying it out to see. If not, I'm not the type that like keeping beards, But due to what I'm told that it's okay, that's why I asked you guys to comment. All right, so let's before I start on this topic. All right, before I start on this topic. All right, I'm trying to do something. Just hold on. All right, before I start that particular topic, there are a couple of questions or a couple of issues uh, regarding to the last topic we discussed, because I got some um, questions, or somebody asked me to do some clarifications on what are those medications that can give you those side effects for you to be tired. All right, there's a couple of questions, about 3 or 4 questions. So I want to explain those things. Then we'll go into today's topic, looking into the diets. All right, because somebody asked me before I close that says, what are the diets? I mean, what are the side? What are those medications that give you those side effects that makes you to be tired? So I'm going to look into that and answer about 2 more questions, and then we'll go into today's topic on the diets that can help you to reduce your tiredness. I shall be right back in 2 minutes. Let me get my tea. As I was saying, I just got in now from work. I was rushing to get in now from work. It was so busy for me last night. So, but I want to get this deal with this program so that I can now go and refresh. But I just want to get a cup of tea. Just give me a minute. I shall be back. I'm getting my cup of tea. I'm just making a tea for myself, so that I'll be right back. I just need a cup of tea. Um, all right. I just need a tea me going because my throat is dry and I'm so tired. I have a lot of work to do. All right. Okay, let's look at, as I was saying on my previous video I did, before I went off, I got a question, so say, please can you expatiate more on those medications that can give you side effects, that can cause you to be tired? And I'll try to say that there are some medications, okay? There are some medications, okay, specifically for diabetics, okay, that may cause you fatigue or tiredness as a side effect. Okay, there are some medications for diabetics that can cause you those fatigue, tiredness as a side effect. So now, for example, if you are using metformin, we all know about metformin. If you're using it for a long time, you have been on metformin for a long period of time, okay? If you have been there consistently for a long period of time, that it will be known that metformin can cause you to have, can lead you to have vitamin B12 deficiency. That is one side effect of using metformin for a long period of time. So if you're using metformin for a long period of time, and we all know that we use metformin in treating diabetics, for using it for a long period of time can cause you or to lead you to have vitamin B12 deficiency, okay? And when you have vitamin B12 deficiency, that can also cause you to have tiredness and other symptoms. So when you use metformin for a long period of time, that can lead you to have vitamin B12 deficiency. And because of that deficiency in vitamin B12, that can also cause you to have tiredness and other symptoms such as muscle weakness and also vision problem. Okay, muscle weakness and also vision problem. And that is why as a diabetes, you have to consistently either by annually, every 6 months or every year, to go for an annual eye check to make sure that there is no diabetes in your eye, or there's no sugar detected in your eye, or any vision problem. The earlier they detect the problem, to stop the damages, further damage of your nerve that can cause you to be what? Blind. So long-term use of metformin, when you're on metformin for a long time, can lead to have vitamin B12 deficiency. And because of that deficiency in vitamin B12, that can cause you to experience tiredness or fatigue. So that is one. Now, when you also have, we all know that deficiency in vitamin B12 can also lead you to have become anemia or anemic. Okay? So because of being anemic, once we are anemic, you're going to be fatigued all the time. If you see somebody who is anemic or who is anemic, they are always tired. So once you have vitamin B12 deficiency, apart from those muscle weakness and also vision problem, it can also cause you or lead to become anemic. That's why they say you have anemia. And anemic people that have been living with anemia or anemic are always fatigued. That fatigue is there. So those are the side effects of using metformin. First of all, from the deficiency of vitamin B12, can also cause you to experience that. So it is advisable, once you experience this fatigue or tiredness consistently, okay, if you are tired 1 or 2 days, that's okay. But when it becomes consistently for 7 days or more, then you have to speak to your family doctor or your care team for them to find out if they can tweak that medication you are taking, or to remove that metformin and give you something else. So anytime you have a consistent side effect that is not good for your health or for your body, always talk to your doctor. They can do something, either in terms of reducing the dosage or adding another medication on top of that, or pulling it out and replace with something else. Okay? So it is important to continue taking the medication as your doctor prescribes until doctor advises you otherwise to pull it out. So that is what I was talking about. Some medications that you take for diabetes can also cause you the side effect of tiredness or fatigue. Okay, so that is it. So let me go to that. I just want to get these questions out at the earlier stage, and then I go into the diet to reduce fatigue. Now, the next question is how to manage diabetic fatigue. The next question is, how do you manage diabetic fatigue? Okay, how do you manage it? because you can experience fatigue or tiredness when your sugar is low or high. They are all part of symptoms of diabetes. Now, how do you manage it? Now, if your sugar is high or low, okay, we know that can cause you fatigue. Now, taking insulin as a doctor has prescribed, okay, may help reduce those hyperglycemia, because the essence of you taking insulin is to reduce or get rid of those excess glucose levels floating in your bloodstreams. So that is why you take insulin, to reduce the high concentration of glucose in your bloodstreams. And when you get rid of those, solve it, it might get rid of those symptoms of tiredness. Now, following the treatment, okay, plan for diabetes can also help to reduce the likelihood of complications that also cause you fatigue. So you have to follow the plan being set out by your doctor, because every individual that is diabetic have a particular plan being set out by the doctor. So once you follow those routines and follow those plans, that might get rid of those tiredness. It is when you deviate from it that is going to cause you to be sick. Now, if complications develop, okay, once you have a complications as a result of you are not controlling your sugar level and there's a complications, then you may require treatment to manage that complication and the related symptoms. So now, how do you manage those diabetic fatigue? We're going to look at how to manage them. Now, number one, okay, number one is you have to aim for around 6 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. Sometimes when you don't have adequate sleep, enough sleep, that can also cause you to be tired the following day or in the morning or in the afternoon. So it is advisable, one general rule, anytime you are feeling fatigue or tiredness, is to see, are you getting adequate enough sleep? Because maybe you are not you'll be sleeping less than 8 hours a day, and that has come back to bite you, and then you start feeling tiredness. So we have to rule certain things as by taking certain steps. So if you are feeling tiredness all the time and you're diabetic, and doctors say it's not because of the medication you are taking, the first thing you have to do is to make sure you get at least 6 to 9 hours sleep per night. When you start getting enough sleep per night, and see if that is going to get rid of those tiredness or fatigue that they are going through. So that's the first point of call, to see, you know what, am I taking enough sleep? And you can tell if you have been sleeping well, because maybe you've been overworked and you are getting about 4 or 5 hours sleep or less than 4 hours sleep. So the first step to do is how to manage fatigue, get rid of it, is to see if you can do 6 to 9 hours sleep per night and see if that is going to correct that fatigue you've been going through. Now, the second step you have to take is make sure you go to bed the same time you go the previous night. Say, for instance, you must go to bed 9 p.m. every night. Then make sure that every night you are in the bed 9 p.m. Don't go to 9 p.m. on Monday, and Tuesday you're going 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. No, consistently, if you have set a time to go to bed, make sure consistently you go to bed every time. The same time you go to bed on Monday, you have to go to bed on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Consistently, you have to choose a specific time you go to bed and keep it that way going. And see, so for instance, okay, I have not been having adequate sleep. Let me make sure I can get at least 6 to 9 hours sleep. The next thing is that in getting to that 6 to 9 hours sleep, make sure you go at a specific time and keep it going that way. So which means every night you must go to bed. If it is 9 p.m., you're already at bed. Okay? Now, the third one is taking time to relax before going to sleep. Some people are worked up. Maybe they fought, the children are giving them headache. They have been screaming, shouting since they come back from work. Or you and your husband or you and your wife has a small quarrel, and then you rush to bed. No, that is not going to help. That's going to worsen the situation. Before you go to bed, make sure you take time to relax. Relaxation before going to bed will help you a lot, because all the nerves, all the adrenaline in your body, the hormones have settled down. When you rush to bed, when you are worked up, stressed, mentally not okay, you are annoyed, that is going to worsen the situation of your tiredness the following day. So taking time to relax before going to bed, it is the best thing to do. When you had a small quarrel or children have woke you up, try to relax. Take a cup of tea, a green tea, chamomile tea, whatever, just tea. Relax yourself, make sure that you relax, and then prepare to go to bed at that specific time that you have to go to bed. So this is how to manage your fatigue. Then the next one is improving sleep hygiene. improving sleep hygiene. What do I mean by improving sleep hygiene is such as keeping the room to a cool temperature. Make sure that when you are going to sleep in a room, make sure that room is well aerated. Don't go to sleep when the room is very hot. It's going to make you uncomfortable to sleep. Make sure the temperature of the room is at normal, cool, that is going to allow you to sleep normally. If it is very, very cold, you can also not sleep. So you have to warm the room up to be comfortable, the room temperature comfortable for you to sleep. So that is improving sleep hygiene, such as keeping the room temperature cool to allow you to sleep effectively. All right. Then the next one is 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth one is avoiding looking at phones or other screen right before bed. Some of us have developed a habit these days of Gen Zs or YouTube, Facebook. They tell you, okay, I'm going to go to bed by 9 o'clock. That is a specific time you've chosen to go to bed every day. Then as soon as you go to bed 9 o'clock, I thought maybe you are sleeping. And by the time I come to the room, I see you browsing through the phone. You're still browsing on your YouTube, on your Facebook. That is not going to help you. You are not solving the issue. As soon as you determine to go to bed by 9 p.m., all your phone should be turned off. Put your phone on silence or you turn it off so that somebody cannot ring you up. So avoid looking at phones or other screens right before bedtime. That's going to keep you awake. All right? So the sixth one is avoid caffeine. Avoid caffeine. Caffeine is going to keep you awake. To some people, and some people, it doesn't matter. So avoid caffeine or exercise with a couple of hours before bed. So if you know you're going to go to bed at 9, don't take coffee that contains caffeine by 7 p.m. because the possibility of you keeping awake is going to be, you can't because of the presence of caffeine in that coffee. Or you go to bed by 9 p.m. and started exercising by 7 p.m. That is not going to help you the issue. Make sure from the time you finish exercising and the time you go to bed, make sure there's at least minimum 5 hours gap interval. Because as soon as you finish your exercise and come back home, the muscles, the hormones are going to try to be relaxed. Everything is going to be coming back to normal. It needs at least minimum 4 to 5 hours for everything to be normal and then prepare the body to go to bed. So don't go and start exercising 2 hours to bedtime or start taking coffee that contains caffeine 2 hours to bedtime. These are the way you have to manage to reduce your fatigue. All right. Now, the next one is getting enough regular exercise or physical activities. So exercise also or being active will help you to manage your fatigue. But do not do your exercise close to your bedtime. So for instance, you can go to the gym or go to your field around 3, 4, 5 p.m. because you know you're going to go to bed by 9 p.m. So regular exercises can also help you to manage your fatigue. You have to be active. The next one is avoiding smoking. If you smoke or you're a smoker, that's a problem for you. So you have to avoid smoking in order to manage your fatigue. All right. Then the next one is avoid or limiting intake of alcohol. The same way you avoid smoke, you also have to avoid alcohol or limit the intake of alcohol, not close to your bedtime. Because when you take alcohol, that's sometimes doctors are going to tell you once you're on prescriptions, you're going to stop taking alcohol because of the interference of those drugs with the alcohol. Okay, so alcohol also interferes the way your body prepare you to go to sleep. The same way smoking also interferes the way your body prepare you to go to sleep. So limiting the intake of alcohol or abstaining from alcohol can help you prepare you mentally and prepare your body when it is due for you to go to bed. I've seen some people taking alcohol even to the right minute before they go to bed. And then they go to bed, they're struggling to fall asleep. Okay, so avoiding or limiting alcohol intake can also help you to manage fatigue. Then managing any other health conditions. Okay, managing any other health conditions also. So if you have any underlying health conditions that can help you deal with it. So if you have any other health conditions apart from diabetes, maybe you have cholesterol issues or high blood pressure issues, deal with those issues. Do not try to control your your diabetic, control your sugar level, and you're avoiding your cholesterol issues or your high blood pressure. They all are interlinked. They are all part of complications of diabetes. If you don't control your diabetic situation, it's going to trigger you to either have a high cholesterol issues, cardiovascular disease, or you have high blood pressure issues. And those ones are additional cause, and they are all terminal illnesses. All right. So these are some of the ways you can manage fatigue. Now, I'm going to go into the topic we are going to discuss today. I'm supposed to discuss diet, okay, to reduce fatigue. We're going to look at diet to reduce fatigue. Just give me a minute, let me see what you sent. All right. If you have any question, please put it in the comment section. Anybody have any question should indicate it on the comment sections if you have. All right. And I believe you guys can hear me properly. I'm streaming on all the YouTube and on Facebook. So my YouTube is back on. So you guys can also find me on YouTube. So now, what are the diets to reduce fatigue if you're a diabetic patient? What are the diets to reduce fatigue? What are the diets? Now, first thing you have to do is you have to ditch inflammatory foods. We are looking at a diet to reduce fatigue for people that are diabetics. And number one is you have to ditch inflammatory food. You're going to identify those food that inflame your system, inflame your nerves, inflame your body. Any food that causes those things, you have to avoid it. So ditching inflammatory food is one sentence. You have to identify those food and stay away from it. Okay? So since we understand that inflammation appears to play a role in fatigue, okay, it is better to identify those foods and avoid them. Okay, rather you go for anti-inflammatory food. We have inflammatory foods and we have anti-inflammatory food. As a person that has a diabetes and you're battling fatigue or tiredness, you have to ditch inflammatory food and go for anti-inflammatory foods. It's like what I was telling you is that we have complex carbohydrate food and we have the simple carbohydrate food. If you're a diabetic, you have to go for complex carbs and avoid simple carbs, because complex carbs is what you need that your body cannot break down easily. Simple carbs your body can break down easily, and it's going to alter the balance of glucose level in your bloodstreams and cause you some complications. So the same thing, if you are feeling tiredness, there are certain food that can also contribute to you being tired. For instance, when you are not a diabetic, I could remember when I'm not a diabetic yet, and then you go and eat a pounded yam. You know those pounded yam? And they prepare those pounded with a nice, delicious soup. As soon as you finish eating that pounded yam, believe me, you're going to fall asleep. You're going to be tired and fall asleep. I can remember when I was young, when you finish eating that pounded yam. First of all, pounded yam is so sweet, well prepared pounded yam with a nice soup. Once you finish that food, you're going to just remain. In fact, getting up from that seat becomes a problem. The next thing you fall asleep, you become so weak. So you're going to ditch those foods that are inflammatory, that makes you to get tiredness, and go for anti-inflammatory food. So you have to identify those foods. Okay? So anti-inflammatory is, or adding anti-inflammatory food, like, for instance, okay, fish and olive oil. Okay? Fish and olive oil, I'm just giving you an example, fish and olive oil. Okay? These are anti-inflammatory. Okay? These are anti-inflammatory. Then inflammatory foods such as sugar, fried foods, and processed meat, avoid it. So processed meat, those are inflammatory food. Fried foods, most of those fried foods that you fry, you have to avoid it. And then sugar is a simple carbohydrate. You got to avoid all those things. Rather concentrate your efforts in anti-inflammatory like fish, olive oils, to mention a few. So the first thing you have to do, what I do is to ditch inflammatory food and concentrate all your effort in anti-inflammatory food. You can Google it and say what are, everybody can, you can Google it and okay, you know what, I have to identify what are anti-inflammatory food. You just Google it. Can you give me what are anti-inflammatory food? Is the Google is going to list all food that fall onto anti-inflammatory food. Those are the food that you have to concentrate yourself in. So that is one, ditch inflammatory foods. Okay, let's go to number two. Number two, we're looking at diet to reduce fatigue or tiredness. Number two is you have to stay hydrated. If you are dehydrated, if you don't have enough fluid in your system, in your body, that can make you feel tired. So you have to stay hydrated all the time. When you pee, when you sweat, you are losing fluid. You need to replace your fluid. And that is why you have to drink a lot of water at all the time to keep yourself hydrated. Once you stay dehydrated, you are going to feel tired. So while drinking more water isn't a cure for chronic fatigue or tiredness, it is still important. Dehydration known to make fatigue worse. Once you are dehydrated, you're going to make your fatigue or tiredness to be worse. So you have to drink a lot of water. What do I say? When you are sweating, you are losing fluid. When you are urinating, you are losing fluid. When you're trying to get rid of those excess glucose level, when your sugar is too high, you are losing fluid and those excess sugar level. So you have to keep drinking a lot of water to keep yourself hydrated. So stay hydrated. That is number two. Number three, John, what are you saying? Let me see. Weston says, what makes someone with type 2 to have stomach pains and what is the solution? Are you Weston, are you type 2? John, I'm reading. Weston, I'm going to answer your question. Okay, let me finish with John. John, did you test your sugar level? Did you test your sugar in the morning? Because you have to keep your record. You have to, first of all, when you wake up in the morning, okay, before your breakfast, you have to measure your sugar level to know what your sugar level is before your breakfast. And after your breakfast, 2 hours after your breakfast, you have to also measure your sugar level. So you have to keep. Hold on, John. I'm coming. Weston, I'm going to come to your question. Let me finish with John. All right. So, as I was saying, before breakfast, take your sugar level. Know what your sugar level before breakfast. And then after your breakfast, you have to wait 2 hours. 1 hour, some take their sugar level 1 hour after meal, post meal, or it's recommended 2 hours post meal to have an accurate sugar level after you finish eating. You have to repeat the cycle again when you get to the dinner. Before your dinner, take your pre-meal sugar level and also post-meal. You have to keep a record, a journal, okay, to know where your sugar ranges are. That's going to give you a guideline or give you a guide to say, are you doing okay? Okay, so keeping those journal is very important. All right, so I'm going to come to that. Let me answer Weston. Weston asked a question and he says, what makes someone with type 2 diabetics to have stomach pains and what is the solution? Okay. Now, when you have Weston, I'm answering your question now. When you have, there are so many reasons why, as a diabetic, somebody with type 2 diabetics have stomach pains. All right. Now, as someone that has a type 2 diabetics, okay, there are possible factors, many factors that can cause you to have diabetes. Now, one of those factors is there's something we call neuropathy. Okay, when you experience nerve damage, first of all, when you have neuropathy, it means you are experiencing nerve damage. So when you are having stomach pains, that you have that neuropathic symptoms of stomach pains, is either your sugar level, because anytime your sugar level is too high, you experience those neuropathic symptoms, those burning sensation in your feet, tingling, numbness in your feet, and possible stomach pain. And anytime you have neuropathic symptoms, those stomach pains, you are undergoing a nerve damage because you are not controlling your sugar level very well, or your sugar level is not at the right target. So you have a neuropathic symptoms. That is why you are having those stomach pain, because of occurrence of nerve damage, okay, which is affecting your digestive system. So anytime you have those stomach pain, you have these neuropathic symptoms, nerve damage, which is affecting the digestive system, leading to paralysis. There's something we call gastroparalysis. So that is what you are undergoing, gastroparalysis. Now, it's a condition where the stomach empties slowly from the large intestine to the smaller intestine, or from the smaller intestine to the large intestine. Now, that gastroparalysis is a condition where the stomach empties slowly. All right. Now, this is due to high blood sugar levels. Okay, this is due to high blood sugar that can cause abdominal pain. Okay, not only abdominal pain, it can also accompany nausea, vomiting, or feeling of fullness. So, what of a sudden you've not eaten for the day, but you are feeling full, as if you're not feeling hunger. Okay, so nausea, vomiting, these are the symptoms of those neuropathic nerve damage occurring, that which is gastroparalysis. So that is why you're having those stomach pain as somebody who is having stomach pain. So one thing is you have that gastroparalysis, which is high blood sugar can damage nerves in the stomach, slowing down the emptiness of your stomach, so that the digestive process is slowed, and then you're having that issue. So that is the simple question or analysis I can give you to answer those questions while you're having stomach pain. Now, we're talking about gastroparalysis, we're talking about nerve damage, we're talking about high blood sugar level. These are the possible causes why, okay, you're having those stomach pain. Or we have something called DKA, okay? We have the diabetic ketoacidosis. Those also things can also cause you to have stomach pain. Now, what is the solution? You're asking what is the solution or how to manage it. The best solution is control your blood sugar level. If you don't want to have all these complications, like Western is saying, is controlling your sugar level will get rid of those underlying cause of those symptoms. If you are not controlling your sugar level, if your sugar level is not at the right target where it's supposed to be, you're going to be having these neuropathic symptoms: pain, abdominal pain, vomiting, nausea, or gastroparalysis, whereby your stomach is empty slowly. So the first thing you have to do is controlling your sugar level, bring it down to where it's supposed to be. Okay, then if that doesn't work, then medication, combination of medication. The doctor will prescribe you medications to help you stimulate stomach muscles, okay, relieve nausea and manage blood sugar levels. Because muscles have been tightened because diabetes, so not relieving those pains, the medication can then come in to relieve those, to help stimulate your stomach muscle, to allow your digestive system to start functioning properly, whereby your stomach can empty properly. So the first thing you have to do, solutions now, is controlling your sugar level is the fourth point of call. You have to make sure your sugar level is controlled. If you're having abnormal sugar level, you're not controlling your sugar level, you're going to have complications. So the first point of call is controlling your sugar level. Make sure your glucose level in your bloodstream is at the target where it's supposed to be, to get rid of this abdominal pain. Other than that, medication can come in to stimulate the muscle, because now your stomach is not emptying properly and you are feeling full sometimes, possible vomiting or nausea. So your doctor can also prescribe medications to help you get rid of those abdominal pain. Then the third one is dietary changes. As somebody that is diabetic, or you are having serious stomach abdominal pain or constipation, the dietary changes is very important. You have to eat a lot of fiber. Fiber helps to stimulate the stomach muscles and also to help you to relieve the symptoms of constipation. So dietary changes is also one thing to get to as a solution. Eat a lot of fiber. Reduce your carb intake. As a diabetic, they always tell you increase your fiber intake and reduce your carb intake. Once you are battling diabetes, you need a lot of fiber. Fiber is going to help you with your digestive systems and relieve those pain. So that is one thing. Okay. So dietary changes is one thing. So you need to eat a lot of fiber and then limiting fat foods. Okay. And then make sure you eat in a smaller quantity. Don't go and eat in a larger quantity. You eat in a smaller quantity frequently, but let that food contain a little bit of fiber, less carb, and avoid fat. Limiting fat intake in those food. Those can help manage those symptoms. All right. Now, so I think I've answered your question. Weston, did you get me right? Weston, did you get me right? Did you understand my explanation? Let me know. Weston, can you let me know? Did you get my response properly? I need to know if you got my response properly. Okay, I'm going to share some. I'm going to share some. I'm going to share some of those information on the comment section, and then you can read it more. See, if not, all the time I like keeping it. So, John, Weston, I'm going to come to your question. Let me finish with John. I'm trying to. I'm trying to share some information. As I was saying, before breakfast, take a sugar level. Go to sugar level before breakfast. And then after your breakfast, you have to wait 2 hours. 1 hour, some take their sugar level 1 hour after meal, post meal, or it's recommended 2 hours post meal to have an accurate sugar level after you finish eating. You have to repeat the cycle again when you get to the dinner. Before your dinner, take your pre-meal sugar level and also post meal. You have to keep a record, a journal, okay, to know where your sugar release are. That's going to give you a guideline or give you a guide to say, are you being okay? Okay, so keeping this journal is very important. Alright, so I'm going to come to that. Trying to share. I'm trying to share something so you can read more about it. Trying to share something so you can read more about it. All right. So Western, I posted something on the comment section so you can read more about it. You can read more about it and then take it from there. So number 3, we are looking at diet that can help to reduce fatigue. I stopped at number 2 to answer Western's question. So let's go to number 3. Number 3 is keep a food and symptom journal. Keep a food and symptom journal. What do I mean by that? Okay, there are people when they go to their kitchen, they have a journal. Hold on, there's somebody that posted something. I need to know what it is. Somebody posted something. I just want to see what it is, and then. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. All right. So number 3 is keeping a food and symptom journal. What do I mean? There are some people when they go to their kitchen, they have a book where they have a list of all their dietary food. In fact, they make it as they know what to eat on Monday, they know what to eat on Tuesday, they know what to eat on Wednesday, they know what to eat on Thursday, and goes on. So they keep a journal book. Even some of them will place it on the fridge. Say Monday, this is what I have to eat. Tuesday, this is what I have to eat. Okay, to make sure they are eating healthy. So a food journal is a great way to discover, okay, food that improve or worsen your symptoms. Like for instance, I'm going to tell you something about neuropathy. Okay, about neuropathy. There are certain food that I cannot eat. So certain food, when I eat them, as soon as I put them in my mouth, I start having reaction of neuropathic symptoms in my food. I start having that burning sensation, tingling and numbness. And when I start having it, it's making me uncomfortable. That means my body doesn't want it. I will stop it. And there are certain food that I will take. I will eat those food. I'm not going to have any reaction in my food. So that's how to isolate certain food that are not good for you as a diabetic. So a food journal is a great way. You keep those food journal. You're going to keep a record. Oh, if I eat this food, it's going to have a reaction. So I step away. These are the food that I have to eat. So that improve or worsen your symptoms of those tiredness. It is also helpful to have a record on how you felt on a day-to-day activities. Okay, so you keep a record that says, okay, if I eat this food, like now in my own case, there are 2 types of bread. They are all whole wheat. They are all oat breads. Brown bread. There's one particular brown bread that I would take. Despite they are brown bread, once I take that bread, it's going to give me a reaction on my feet. My feet will be burning all day until I go to the gym or go to exercise to burn it out to reduce my sugar level down. They are all oat bread, brown bread. And there's another brown bread that when I eat, I don't have any situation. So now I know, okay, this bread, I don't go near it, even though it's a brown bread. But this brown bread is what my body accepts. So I'm just giving you a typical example of me. So that's how to isolate, to have a journal to say, these are the food that improve the symptoms of tiredness, and these are the food that doesn't improve, even it worsen the situation. So you know how to avoid. That's why I say keep a food journal and a food and symptom journal. To say, okay, this particular food, when I eat it, it gives me that symptoms of tiredness. This particular food, when I eat it, I feel okay. In fact, it gives me more strength. That's how to keep a journal as you go. All right. We're going to go to number 4. We're going to go to number 4. All right. Western, if you want to send a star, you go to any of my video. If you go to any of my video, just choose any of my video on my page. You will see where it says, if you go to my page, I'm just explaining how for you to say, for instance, just hold on. I'm going to go to my video. Just hold on. Let me see something. Okay, if you go to my page, select any of my video, you see where it says at the bottom of that video, it says like, comment, or share. Okay, you see like, comment, or share. Now, next to that share, you're going to see either a star icon, a star symbol, or you see either give, where it says give, or thanks. It's either you see star symbol, or you see where it says give or thanks. You click on that particular one. So you see like, comment, share, and the next one is going to be, you see a star icon. Star icon, or if you don't see that star icon, you're going to see something either it say thanks or give. You click on that one, it's going to redirect you to a page on Facebook where you can buy any amount of star you want to send to that particular page. So as soon as you click on that give or thanks, it's going to redirect you to another page on Facebook. So you want to buy 1,000 stars, you want to buy 500 stars, you want to buy a number of stars. You click on it, it's going to tell you how much it is, and then you pay, and then they're going to send it to the page directly. That's how to buy stars. Okay. All right. Thanks anyway. If you have any other question, Western, let me know. All right, so let's go back to what we're discussing diets to reduce chronic fatigue. So I'm on number 4. I'm on number 4 now. So those that are joining us now have to wait when I download the video. Western, if you have more clarification, let me know. I believe you have, if you want more, try it. If you want, I believe I've explained better. So let me know if you have any, if you understood or you need more explanation. So number 4 is I term it as don't cut it all out. Number 4, and I'm going to explain what I mean by don't cut it all out as number 4. Okay, when I say don't cut it all out, I'm trying to say, so when I mean don't cut it all out, I mean, say for instance, it's okay, I'm experiencing fatigue or tiredness, and it's okay, you don't need to bring down your diet to an extent that you want to eliminate all the kinds of food that you eat, hoping that it's going to improve the symptoms of those tiredness. No. So cutting out all the food to bare minimum cannot give you that improvement or remove that symptoms of tiredness. That's why I say don't cut it all out, because you have to talk to your doctor, and your doctor is going to go series of other things. As I said, there are other factors as a diabetic that can cause you to become tired or fatigued. So don't assume that by making a series of heavy changes in your diet that is going to improve it. No. It could be medication, it could be diet, it could be other underlying factors that is contributing to those tiredness. So do not come and reduce or eliminate or do series of changes to your diet to bare minimum, hoping that it's going to improve that symptoms of tiredness. No. So it's advisable to talk to your doctor. All right. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Don't cut it all out. Um, I'm trying to do something here. All right. I forgot that I have not been sharing this. All right. I forgot that I have not been sharing, so you guys can read more about it. All right. So let's go to number 5. Let's go to number 5. Number 5 is experiment with your diet. Any new diet that you are introducing to start taking, first of all, experiment to it to see if it's going to improve those your symptoms of tiredness. So if you're going to introduce a new diet in what, or you are changing diet, some diet from what you are doing, maybe you are suspending your diet is what is causing you to be tired. First of all, experiment on those diets before you can now go on board to say this is going to be better for me. So always experiment those foods before you do a whole change of your dieting. Okay, so experiment your diet to see if it's going to improve the symptoms of those uh, tiredness. That is what I mean by Okay, so experiment with your diet, because once you're experimenting with your diet, you got to know in terms of the carb content. Some of you might eat gluten-free food. Some food contains glutens, so you might not need it. There are some people that cannot eat food that contain glutens, or it must be gluten-free food. Okay, so that is why it is important to test, experiment those food. Test them before you do a wholesale change. Okay, so I'm not gonna waste much that on time. Let's go to number 6. Number 6 is you have to limit your caffeine intake. I've said it on my intro. You have to limit on your caffeine intake. If you drink a lot of coffee in a day, if you drink a lot of coffee, that might affect you long run at night. Okay, as at least you need 1 cup of coffee a day, or at least if you want to stretch it, 2, not more than 2 a day. Or if you like coffee that you cannot, 2 is not enough. Instead of you taking a regular coffee, original coffee, go for decaffeinated. Decaffeinated coffee are good for you because they don't contain caffeine, so it doesn't disturb you at night. Find it very difficult to fall asleep. So if you like your coffee, you can go for decaffeinated coffee and stay away from the original coffee that contains caffeine. So, but the taste is different. So all in all, you have to limit your caffeine intake. Limiting your caffeine intake is important. Now, number 7 is try smaller or more frequent meals. Try smaller or more frequent meals. All right? Try smaller or more frequent meals. What am I trying to say? If you have experiencing a serious of fatigue often, okay, you feel so tired, okay, to eat, or you don't feel hungry at all. Sometimes you might be so tired that you don't even want to eat. You feel full. Okay, if you are losing weight or struggling to eat enough throughout the day, okay, now doctors or that are recommending try smaller meals more frequently. You cannot go on an empty stomach while you're taking your medications. Okay, so try a smaller meal more frequently, or you got to try to experiment on some things. You're trying a smaller food more frequently. You're adding some snacks, just something that can make you have an appetite to eat more. But the most importantly is that you must have food in your stomach because you're on balance. Okay, so eating more frequently may help keep your energy level up. So smaller portion may also ease, okay, to tolerate as well. So that's why it's important, okay, to eat smaller food. All right. All right. You guys have any small question? My tea is cold. Now, number 8 is pay attention to sugar. Pay attention to sugar. Okay? Sugar can also increase your energy temporarily, but they crash your tiredness. Sugar, you know, when you're eating something that contains sugar, it increases your energy, but that's temporary. But when they start crashing, when it start consolidating into your bloodstreams, then it start feeling the tiredness. Okay? So instead of reaching for food with refined sugar, refined sugar, I ask you guys to stay away from it. Okay? I recommend natural sweet food with a bit of what? Protein to help even out your food, your blood sugar level. So protein is more advisable. Sugar, 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 you got to pay attention to sugar. As a diabetic, pay attention to sugar. Sugar temporarily can give you that boost of energy. But when it starts crashing, when it starts metabolizing, you feel the effect of it, of that tiredness. So substitute that sugar with protein in it. Okay? Berries, berry plant, sweetened yogurt, just these are examples. So pay attention to sugar. Now, number 9 is you have to go in all on veggies. Go in all on veggies. As a diabetic, veggies, veggies, veggies is good for you. While you are paying attention to sugar, go in on veggies. Okay? Okay. Do you guys have any question? You have any question? For those that are joining us now, when I download the video, you guys can watch it from the beginning to the end. Okay, I'm almost rounding up. Okay, so number 10 is you're going to skip on heavily processed food. I've told you guys several times, avoid processed food because of the added sugar that it has and saturated fat. Okay, so skip processed food because processed food can also make you feel tired after consumption. Okay, so processed food typically have fewer nutrients than their whole food counterpart. Okay, it's important to load up on plants. Go in on all veggies. Processed food, stay from it because of the content, the added sugar, the saturated fat in it. It is not good for you. Okay, and then also eat healthy fat. You know, we have the bad fat, we have the healthy fat. Go for healthy fat and avoid the bad fat. That's why I advise you guys to use olive oil. Olive oil might be expensive, but it's a healthy fat, or avocado oil. Those are healthy fat, and avoid all these other form of oils. Okay, they might be cheaper in the market, but it contains a lot of saturated fat in it. So go in all on healthy fat. Okay, avocado oil, olive oil, they all contain omega-3 fatty acids. Okay, and then your body needs them. Your body needs them. So friends, I think, as I said, I just came in from work and I said I'm going to try to do Cecilia, Dora, you're all welcome. All right, friends, if you have, the floor is open. If you have any question, feel free to ask me your question, because if you have any question, feel free to ask your question, because we are coming to the end of the program, and those that are joining us now should have to wait. When I download the video, they can now watch it from the beginning. Okay, but if you have any further question, feel free to ask your question. Okay. We are also streaming on YouTube. All right, friends. If this is your first time coming across my page, please smash it up. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and other videos you like you see on the page. If you like it, give me a thumbs up on it. Like the page. Okay. Now, if you have not yet followed my page, or you're not yet a fan to the page, it's free to subscribe. And the importance why you have to subscribe is that anytime there's a content being dropped, you'll be notified. Anytime I go live, you'll be notified. So you don't miss any of content I drop on the page. So if you're not yet following me on my page, kindly do so, and also share the video to your friends. Okay, share it, recommend it to your friends. If you know, in this community, we all talk about diabetes and the related content about diabetes issues. So if you have any question, feel free to send in your question. It is important. If you have any question, even though if I'm not live, I might take some time to respond to your question, but I finally will respond to your questions, either offline or online. So if you're not yet following my page, kindly do so, and share the page, and also give it a thumbs up. All right, now this is a live video. Remember, live video can always stay in the Facebook page for 30 days. After 30 days, they will delete it. So if there's any of my video that you like for reference purposes in the future, you like keep watching all the time, you can download it in your device and save it there, so that you can go back to it for reference purposes. Okay, so that is it. So in terms of this particular topic on dieting and fatigue and tiredness, at least I've done this is my second time discussing this topic, so I'm going to move into the next topic. So if you have any questions, kindly send in your questions in the comment sections or inbox me, and I'm going to respond. Okay, so I believe for those that have been with me today on this program, I believe you've learned one or two things. All right, so I'm going to leave you guys now. I have to go and refreshing. I just came back from work, and I just go in straight to streaming. Now it's going to be out of my way, and I have my realization. So friends, I'm going to see you guys sometime during the week. If time permit me, I'm going to see you guys during the week. But keep watching my videos, and also keep sharing, and then like my videos. So I'm going to say to you guys, have a wonderful evening or afternoon or morning, depending on your locations. And for those that have helped contributing to this program, I say thank you. Okay, so I'm going to see you guys sometime this week in continuation of our topics. So keep watching. See you guys. I love you guys. Bye bye.